Hello, everybody. I have news. I bring tidings. And if you followed me on Twitter over the last little while, which, you probably should if you aren't already, because only cool people follow me on Twitter, you might have an inkling as to what that news is. I have moved for the first time since I entered middle school, for the first time since the end of Wrath of the Lich King. I have moved houses. I've been in the same place for like 13 or so years. Now you might be like, the fuck, Dave? Why the hell are you moving in a market like this? Well, me and my family, we were given no choice. My family has been renting for as long as I've been alive, and our landlords told us to get the fuck out because they wanted to sell the house we were in and cash in on a high-ass real estate market. So we were told to get the fuck out. But hey, we lucked out. That rhymed. Did it? I think that rhymed. Because the house we found and got is actually pretty damn nice. Way nicer than what we had before. So thanks, landlords. You tried to fuck us and possibly tried to get us to buy out our old house, and you ended up doing me and my family all a favor. Now, I would show you the house, but we are still in the process of moving in. There's boxes all over the place still. There's boxes in my room in the hall, both upstairs and down the kitchen. Well, you get the idea. Shit's a mess, but there is more space. My room is much bigger than before. It is also tucked away so far away from everything else that any noise will no longer be a bother for me, meaning that I won't have an issue recording audio during the day at peak hours. I mean, really, it means nothing for you, but it does mean a whole lot to me, and I am very excited for it. But I will say, the acquisition and the move to this new house was not without its faults. Just like I've been making it sound, yeah, the house we got is big. Now, you might think that's a benefit, which, it is, but Jesus Christ, it is also a curse. The house is big. So big, in fact, that it took us nearly 3.5 weeks just to clean, fix, and paint, and that was working from about noon to midnight almost every day during the month of June, when my family had a deadline to get out of our old place by July 1st. We had more time to move, of course, considering we found the house in early March, but the previous tenant, he took his sweet-ass time getting out, which caused me and my family to only have a month to do things. And that's not to mention that when the motherfucker did decide to bounce out and actually gave us the house, he left this place in such a state that we had to dedicate literal weeks to doing what he didn't do. We had to clean, we had to plug holes in the walls, paint, regrow the yard, etc., etc. And for reasons relating to that, to the deadline that we had to move, to trying to back catalog videos, and juggling 100 different other things, I had a very hard time with this move. And I will not lie, for the duration of this process, I was in a very bad place. To put a long story short, stress and anxiety and a serious lack of sleep got the better of me, and I had a mental breakdown right before we started putting in hours at my new house. It was bad, there was no beating around the bush, and because of it, I failed to do a lot of what I wanted to do before I moved. I failed to be much help in the early stages of moving, which definitely lengthened the process and is why this video is coming out so late, and amidst my breakdown, I took my earliest frustrations out verbally on a really good friend of mine, someone that I care about a lot and still very much do to this day. I still feel awful about it, and I likely always will. And that fact deliberately contributed to why my recovery has been so slow. Of course, we came out on good terms, and we're still friends, for the record, but you never really feel as if you can really make it up to them after you do something that's really stupid. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, it's not to publicly shame myself or to collect your pity. It's to tell you that I'm still not, well, at least I don't feel like I am in still the best of places. My episode was in late May, early June, but I'm still feeling the effects of it simply because I've not had a whole lot of time just to chill the hell out because I've been moving and I've had numerous different setbacks over the course of the last few weeks. For that reason, I will be taking my time with the next project for the channel because there's still stuff that I gotta do. I gotta catch up on 9.2.5. I gotta watch the Kenobi show. There's still a bunch of stuff for Final Fantasy I need to do, and I know there's a lot of DLCs coming out for Wonderlands already that I have to play. And on top of that, there's so many other unrelated projects, and I just gotta do them all. I also need to make sure that I don't overwork myself, or some bitches, those bitches being the bitches who helped me through this process, are gonna be really pissed at me. That being said, because it will take some time, because I'm making it take some time, I will clue you in on the next big project for the channel. In Final Fantasy XIV, I will be leveling Red Mage and getting footage of their job questline, and I will be doing what I'll be calling the journey of the Red Mage. Here's a rough outline of the thumbnail. Now my hope is that this video will go over the story of the Red Mage, and my other hope is that this video does well enough so I can branch off and do the same thing for all the other classes in Final Fantasy XIV, including Gladiator, Rogue, Pugilist, Blue Mage, etc. After that, I will likely be doing something for Wonderlands, and maybe I'll get around to doing that damn Desolate Council video I've had on the back burner for months now, and I kind of wish I got it out now before 9.2.5, but I mean, what can you do? And in between all of that, of course, I will still be vibing with my homies, my boys, on the Founders of Durotar podcast whenever we decide to do it next, which you can watch for yourself if you haven't seen it already right here. Now, there was other stuff I was going to announce, big things I do have planned, but I am nowhere near the right mind to do it, nor can I really commit to anything other than what I just talked about. I'm sorry, but that's the way the crumble cookies. And hey, Stop. I know what you're doing. I see that pity comment. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to read it. I don't want to hear your support for me during tough times. You backspace that shit the fuck out. And you say instead, to me, damn Dave, I can't wait for your next video. Shit's gonna be lit. And if that's not good enough for you, then hey, how about you give me your questions? Because since I've left and moved and a lot of things went unsaid for way too long, I will be resetting my list of video topics. So I ask, as sincerely as I can, give me your questions. If you have any lore questions or topics that you think that I will find interesting enough to make a video on, whether it be for World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Borderlands, or Wonderlands, or even Star Wars, please leave them in the comment section down below, and I will add them to my list, and I will do them as soon as I can. Whether that said topic is big or small, it does not matter to me. Support me by giving me things to keep my mind on. That is all I can and will ask of every single one of you, and you don't even need to do that. And of course, as always, since I kind of already asked for your questions, thanks for watching, and remember well.